Good morning everybody. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at how I painted up this Space Marine for the Minotaurs chapter. To begin, we're going to cover the entirety of the model with some Balthazar gold. Once you are happy with your Balthazar gold, we're going to take some Rune Lord brass and we're going to be airbrushing this on in a zenithal-like motion, so from approximately 45 degrees. And what this will do is, the Rune Lord brass is obviously a lot brighter than our Balthazar gold, so the Balthazar gold will actually act as our main shadow, giving us a really nice volumetric kind of style. After the Rune Lord brass is all dry, you see we get this really nice volumetric style. So we've got the bright Rune Lord brass up top and then a darker Balthazar gold underneath. So to finish off the volumetrics, we're going to take some Canoptic alloy, and this is going to be more focused from a top down position on where the light is going to hit. So such as the top of the head, the top of the backpack here, and then the top of the knees, etc. And there we go. So with the Canoptic alloy all applied, you see we've got a really bright brass up top now, followed by that mid-tone and then the shadows underneath. So it gives you just this really nice, really quick, but really effective volumetric scheme. And we're going to do the same thing with the shoulder pads, but for that, we only really need two colours. We're going to use Basecoating burgundy and then Mephiston red. And there we go with the red as well. So you can see we've got that nice bright Mephiston red, and then we've got some nice dark shading from the Basecoating burgundy. So with that red done, all of the airbrushing is now finished. So we're moving on next to all of the black details. So in terms of the parts that need to be black, all we're really looking for are the undersuit areas and then the belt along here. Once all of that black has been blocked in, we are now going to do some pin shading. So really, with brass armor, there's two real main options, and that is either a black pin wash, such as Northern Oil, or a more warm sort of brown tone, like Seraphim Sepia or Ryclone Flesh Shade, things like that. In this case, I'm just going to use Northern Oil, simply because I just like the look of a darker black kind of shadow, but it is entirely up to you. Now, if you've never done pin shading before, all it is just a simple case of loading up that paint on your brush, and instead of a traditional method where you would paint it all over the armor, we're simply looking for the recesses of the armor, such as here around that kneecap, and we are just going to be painting that Northern Oil into that recess just there. So all this really does is it gives you that nice dark recess shading, but it won't stain the main surface of the leg panel, which is what would happen with a all over wash. And here we go. So with that pin shading all applied, you can see what a massive difference it makes. All of those recesses now are really nice and dark, and it really helps to give a lot of depth and definition to the armor. With the pin shading all done, we've just got a couple of other colours that we need to block in. So that's going to be red for the bolt casing, and then some silver for things like the rest of the bolter here and the teeth of the chainsword. And then also we're going to do red eye lenses. So for the red, we're going to use Mephiston red, and then for the teeth, we're just going to use lead belcher. Once we've got those reds and silvers all blocked in, we're just going to give them a all over wash with some Nuln oil. With all of that shading done, we are now moving on to all of the highlights. So for the brass armor and the metallics, we are going to highlight it with some Vallejo Model Air Chrome. For the red, we're going to use Evil Sun Scarlet, and for the black, we're just going to use Eshin Grey. When doing your highlights, especially on the brass armor, all we're really looking for are all of the sharp corner details of the model. So things like around here, the kneecap just here, and these sharp details here. And with those edge highlights all complete, our Minotaur chapter Space Marine is finished. So the only thing really left to do is obviously the base, and for the base, just do it so it matches the rest of your army. For my case, I'm just going to do a relatively quick urban rubble kind of base.